17-point memo. He loves to open his show the same way, so I'm going to do the exact same. Here's the reality. Fox News loves to say that they are fair and balanced. Okay? That's what they call it. Themselves fair and balanced. But the reality is, Fox News really should be focused on ignoring and denying reality. The trashing of Black Lives Matter is a perfect example of what happens when you ignore what the truth is. Last night on the O'Reilly Factor, this is what Bill had to say.
Police are not hunting down black men. 99.9% of all police interactions are peaceful. Killing police officers is another matter. The recent rash of that must be reported in the context of civil unrest. My analysis is honest and fact-based.
Now, he says it's all fact-based. But y'all notice what he skipped over? Did you notice Bill O'Reilly never mentioned what happened in Dayton, Ohio, when the cop pulled a black guy over and said, frankly, you were eyeballing me too long? Did you also notice how he sort of kept those things out? So he said 99.9%, whatever he said, but the reality is we have many cases where folks have been killed for no reason whatsoever. But we focus on the truth here, Bill, not no spin zone, no lie zone. Fox commentator Juan Williams was on the show on Monday, and he attempted to defend the Black Lives Matter movement. But there was a problem with something he said.
Is Black Lives Matter a hate group?
No, I mean, you mean like neo-Nazis or Aryan Nation or Klan or even terrorist groups like Boko Haram?
I wouldn't say they're terrorists. No. I think they're a hate group. They hate police officers.
Well, they have strong feelings about...
No, they hate them. They want them dead. Pigs in a blanket is dead.
I think hate group would suggest that they have the means to commit violence, and we have not seen them involved in any violence to this point. In fact, the principal damage, I would say, is they damage themselves. Because look at this, they have no agenda.
Juan Williams tells Bill O'Reilly that there's no agenda for Black Lives Matter, but the reality is there is an agenda. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had the folks from JoinCampaignZero.org right here on News One Now. Folks, pull this graphic up, please. They actually have released some 33 policy demands. 33 for federal, state, and local. Among them, ending broken windows policing, community oversight, limited use of force, body cameras, training, and for-profit policing, demilitarization, fair police union contracts. Those are facts. And so Juan and Bill, you can't say they have no agenda when they actually have agenda. How about actually doing some research? But see, that's not the only issue. The reality is Black Lives Matter hates bad policing. That's why they have that agenda. But Bill O'Reilly doesn't mention that. He doesn't bring that up. And again, every day we're seeing video of cops gone wild. I talked about the case in Dayton, Ohio. That's the case in Minneapolis, where the cop tells a guy who pulls over, you better not run, I'm going to break your effing leg. The guy's like, I'm not trying to run anywhere. We saw the case, the officer in L.A. who beat and kicked the black woman in the back seat, who later died. She just got 3 years in prison. We just see a South Carolina police chief who got a home confinement for shooting a black man. We got, of course, the Sam DuBose case out of Cincinnati. We got case after case after case. But Bill O'Reilly and Fox News loves to ignore those stories. Black Lives Matter is not calling for cops to being killed. They have no issue when it comes to those good cops, but they got a problem when so-called good cops say nothing. So how about this, Bill? Accept the reality that cops are there to protect and serve the public, not protect and serve themselves. They are there for us. We pay them every single day with taxpayer dollars. So I have a challenge for you, Bill. Since you're so concerned about Black Lives Matter, I want you to stand with us when it comes to the Tamir Rice case. How often have you discussed that case? I want you, Bill O'Reilly, to be asking the question, why is it the officer who absolutely was wrong in shooting and killing Rakia Boyd in Chicago, he should not be back on the police force? I don't hear you talking about that case, Bill. I want to know, are you going to stand with John Crawford and his father? Because you love talking about the need for black fathers in the black community. John Crawford was a black father. John Crawford's father's a black father. He had him in his life. I've talked to his dad, but where are you? You're silent. Elizabeth Hasselbeck, you're silent. Sean Hannity, you're silent. Greta Van Susteren, you've done some good stuff. Well, a lot of this stuff, you're silent as well. Also, Ayanna Jones, where are you, Bill O'Reilly, when a cop shoots and kills this black girl in her bed while she's sleeping, but he says, oh, the grandmother, she hit my gun. Really? Really? The fact of the matter is, Bill, you do not want to tell the truth about Black Lives Matter. You desire to purposely mislead your audience. So why don't you have the guts to stand with us on the issue of challenging cops who lie on police reports, who have unjustified shootings? The police chief in Arlington, Texas, recently fired an officer because he broke protocol in the case where a young man was shot and killed. But you're silent on those issues. Black Lives Matter, they're not silent. Oh, and one more thing. You're blaming Black Lives Matter for a cop who was killed in Texas, which is absolutely sad and deplorable. But Bill, the cops in Texas haven't even established a motive for the guy who killed him. So how is it that you, sitting on a set in New York, have already come up with a motive in the case of a cop who was killed in Texas when the cops in Texas had not established the motive? Joining us on the phone right now from New York is Tanika Mallory, organizer for the New York Justice League. Here on the panel, Maya Rockamore, president of the Center for Global Policy